Good evening, everyone. This meeting held in the Roselle Park High School Library is an open session of the Roselle Park Board of Education held under the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey. Notice that this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, local source, the Home News Tribune, the Borough Clerk, school offices, and district website. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Miller.
Here.
Vice President Sokol. Here. Mr. Balaban.
Here.
Mr. Bruckenstein. Mr. Dan.
Here.
Mr. Gerton.
Here.
Mr. Harms.
Here.
Mr. Nelson.
Here.
Mr. Vita. We do have a quorum.
Hey, please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Roselle Park High School Library. Before we start with our public participation portion of the evening, I would like to just state that in the closed session that we had at 6 p.m., we did not speak on personnel issues concerning superintendent goals. We spoke on an issue of security within our schools, and so it should be noted that number one would be it was a security issue. With that said, we're going to open up the first public participation portion of the evening tonight for agenda items only. If you have an agenda item you'd like to speak on, please come forward, state your name, address, and what you'd like to talk about.
So here's 150 Berwyn Street. Agenda items 18 and then 19.
18 and 19.
And
Both.
19.
18.
You want to start?
Yes, sure. 18, we're eliminating the MD, which is multiple disabled class, and we are making that same class what is called an autistic class. And there are certain reasons for that. The students in that class are in the autistic spectrum, so that qualifies it as an autistic class instead of a multiple disabled.
Okay. As the parent of a special needs child who went to the high school, I'm sure everyone knows there's different classifications.
Right.
There's ED, LD.
Yes.
This doesn't remove any of
No,
that.
it does not.
It just kind of tailors it
It
towards.
tailors it to the group that's going to be there this coming year.
And is that in line with, I guess, granting or funding? Is that why a program needs to be changed? Does it need to be changed to a regulation?
No, just the regulations, that's the course of the change.
So in other words,
Regulations.
Certain numbers to each have to
So
change.
it's right.
As population changes.
The shift in
and
the
their
numbers.
needs,
okay.
programs change accordingly to meet those needs.
And if there's a child that enters the school that doesn't fall within the autism spectrum,
They will be in another class. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be not serviced.
There is a
Right.
There's a
possibility
possibility of
if that
person
would
rights.
happen, Saul, then we would come back to the board and ask for a change in the classification from autism to multiple disabilities.
okay.
We've done that before, we're going back again, and we will continue to alter back and forth as the needs of our student population changes year to year.
Thank you. Agenda item 11. Why was it revised? I remember because this was
Yes,
A
and if you
previous
notice the title says revised, and the portion that changed, if you go back and compare it to the previous agenda, on June 24th, it was supposed to be the same exact 3 people, but Teresa Saka could not make it on June 24th, so a change was made, and our new school nurse that we just appointed recently is going to take her place on
Thank you very much.
Donna's link.
Seeing there's no one else, we're going to close the first public participation portion of this meeting. And we're going to move on to committee and liaison reports. Does anyone have a committee or liaison report?
Just briefly, Union County Debt Services Commission, we have a meeting tomorrow night to take care of regular course of business. Also, in today's mail, and I'm sorry to touch on your field, New Jersey school boards, but I noticed they're celebrating 100 years of service. So it's amazing that they keep supporting local school boards for 100 years already. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Baumann. Anyone else? And now we're on to the superintendent's report. Mr. Brito.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. I just want to report on the end of the year activities. I was honored and privileged to be able to participate in many of the end of the year activities, and I'm so proud to report that the award ceremonies, the graduations went very smoothly, and it was really a pleasure to be part of it. Particularly, I want to just congratulate all the graduates. I've been to several high school graduations. I have never been to a better high school graduation than Roselle Park's graduation. Students were well behaved, parents were well behaved, and really an incredible night. It was a beautiful night weather-wise, and it was a beautiful night to celebrate the accomplishment of such a special class. So the same thing goes for the 8th grade celebration, the clap out, clap in. I did see some of that, and also the that's down as Mr. Harms there, the early childhood ceremony as well. But very, very impressed. I have to really give kudos to the administration and the staff, and definitely the students for such a pleasure to be part of these celebrations here in Roselle Park. Very well done.
Thank you, Mr. Garrido. And now we're on to personnel. I'd like someone to make a motion to approve agenda items 1 through 12. Thank you, Mr. Bellman. 1 being staff transfers, 2014-15. 2 is staff appointments. 3 is staff resignations. 4 is maternity leave of absence request. 5 is retirement compensation. 6 is student helpers. 7, special services, summer personnel. 8, 2014 summer camp co-director. 9, 2014 extended year school year summer camp staff. 10, 2014 summer credit recovery program staff. 11, fall 2014 sports physical personnel revised. And 12, additional 2014 extended school year staff. Do I have a second to Mr. Bowden's first? Second, Mr. Burton, thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
I'd like to make a comment.
Sure.
I'd just like to make a comment about Danielle Romero. In my heart, I really wish I could vote no. I'm not. I will vote yes, because I understand that she wants to pursue new things, and she well deserves it. My contact with Danielle has been, she's just been such a great presence here in Roselle Park to our high school. And all of the things that she's done, both professionally and personally. And we are definitely going to miss her. She has really, really done so much for us to bring our science program into where it needs to be, and the whole STEM program, that she was very much a leader in the state of New Jersey doing that. And we were very lucky to have her so that she could start all of these things. And she will be greatly missed, and I just wish her well.
Thank you, Ms. Sokol. Anyone else? Roll call, please, madam.
Vice President Sokol?
Yes.
Mr. Balaban?
Yes.
Mr. Bruckenstein? Mr. Dam?
Yes.
Mr. Gerton?
Yes.
Mr. Harm? Mr. Harm?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Vita? President Miller?
Yes.
On roll call, motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. And now we're on to education. And I'd like someone to make a motion to approve agenda items 13 through 19, 13 education program, 14 workshop attendance request, 15 Roselle Park High School marching band, 16 harassment, intimidation, bullying incidents, 17 summer credit recovery program, 18 eliminate the special education program, and 19 establish a special education program. Do I have a motion? Mr. Dam, second? Second, Mr. Harms. Are there any questions or comments?
Just number 13, it says to approve the following summer education program. But really, that was during the school year, 6/9 to 6/13. Do we have home instruction during the summer as well? During the summer months as well?
Well, this is from June 9 to June 13.
Yeah, that was school year.
That was school year. No, we have the extended year program
No,
for
this
special.
here it says summer education, so approved summer education program, so I'm saying. do we
But
have
it's the
home
day.
instruct-
It's the days from 6/9 to 6/13.
Okay, so it's not really a summer
No,
program,
it's not.
for home instruction.
So it's
Okay.
education program.
It's an education program from 6/9 to 6/13.
But to Alex's point, is there home instruction
During the summer, that's what I meant.
No, this is the extended year program for certain,
But that's only.
Only if
Only for
the
certain
child
students
had
in
that
the
in their
IEP.
IEP, and then it would be on a board agenda for approval.
So it'll be like a behavioral issue.
no, well, academic as well. It has to be on the IEP to be,
Like if they were absent.
Extended school year.
it's an extended school year.
Okay.
They have to have. So they don't regress.
So this is to approve the following educational programs for 2013-14 school year?
Yes, we're crossing out the word
Summer.
summer.
And
also
13,
the- And also the years.
The years.
New year, correct.
Anyone else? Just on item 15, I'm happy to see the Roselle Park High School marching band with all those dates that were lined up already for the 2014 competitions that they face. They did a great job, especially on the Memorial Day parade, first in 4 or 5 years, I believe it was. And just like the color guard, the flags, and the band was awesome. We wish them well in the new year. I hope many more will join them to help them out. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Those items are passed. And now we're on to business. I'd like someone to make a motion to approve agenda items 20 through 29, 20 being approval of bills, 21 being Secretary Treasury report, 22 being 2013-2014 awards, 23 line item transfers / bill pay authorization, 24 being tuition rates, 25 monthly certification, 26 2014-2015 Union County Educational Services Commission Professional Services Agreement, 27 being grant application, 28 being school facilities project submission, 29 being use of buildings and grounds. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Ms. Sokol, second, Mr. Balban?
Mr. President,
Yes.
excuse myself for number 20, please.
For number 20, okay, Mr. Nelson, thank you.
And then
Make a change at 23.
23
The
then.
dates.
The dates, the second set of dates, 2013 and 2014. Any questions or comments? On 22, congratulations to our students for getting the awards, the 2013-2014 awards. As Mr. Greeter said, at graduation, both middle school and high school, we're very proud of all of their accomplishments.
In regards to number 22, those awards, do they come out of the district account, or are they coming out of
The monies,
extracurricular?
it's not something that comes from district funds. It's all done through either donations or fundraising. However, of the various groups that donate the money or raise the money, put the money in our student activities account, and therefore a check will be written for that purpose. And the year, well, it didn't happen, graduation was fine. and therefore this is required by law to be open.
So that's the question. This money's going out to student activities funds.
Right.
It's not local.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those items are approved. And now we're on to continuing business. Mr. Brito.
Yes, Mr. Miller, we should add one more student that withdrew from the high school, so that would be 7 students in total for that have been court to live out of district.
Thank you, Mr. Garrido. And now we're on to new business. Is there any new business? Seeing that there is none, I will now go to the public participation portion of this meeting. If you'd like to speak on any issue, please come forward, state your name, address, and what you'd like to speak about.
Jacob McGarrett, 612 Sherwood Avenue, Roselle Park. Ladies and gentlemen, the audience, members of the board, good evening. I'd like to bring up this question to our superintendent. Any dialogue with Avalon Bay or with the board members pertaining, this is what we discussed at the library meeting with the former ex-mayor, Diorio, who had made some suggestions.
Jake, my understanding and listening to Mayor Carty is that Avalon Bay, this doesn't seem that it's going to go through, so there's nothing that really we can discuss at this time. It's something that does not exist. Yeah, it's a dead deal.
And
Was never sold.
is Mr., well, anyway, the owner, the current owner of Morales, you understand, he's looking to sell the property possibly to other bidders. He was talking to some outfit in Cranford at the present time. But anyway, the bottom line is that under that arrangement, that pilot payment in lieu of taxes, we wouldn't be getting anything unless we negotiate with the borough to get some. Yeah.
There's nothing there to talk about. Avalon Bay, okay, is not building anything. It was never sold to them. So anything that we discussed with all this pilot and all that other stuff is gone. There's nothing there. That built the owner still owns Roman houses, the whole property.
But he got a $90,000 cut in his taxes.
Yeah, I can't do anything about
Well,
that.
that's a feeling, yeah.
I can't do anything about that. I'm just saying.
I'm just bringing up, unless someone didn't know about it, did Mr. Guarrido know about it? Did the borough attorney know? Did the board attorney know about it? And some people sitting on the board, did they? It's just
Well, I don't know that we have to know.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's not going anywhere, so there's no reason to
We
even
don't even know. So.
be a topic for discussion at this time.
But you sounded so enthusiastic about it that you were going to ask me questions or discuss it with somebody. And,
Well, once the mayor spoke at the library committee meeting, and he said that there was no reason to even bring it up for
and that was
conversation.
the present mayor.
The president, yes. Right. Didn't see a need for, to bring it up with any of the board members.
Well, he's not going to be mayor the first year we'll have a new mayor. And probably keep that in mind.
I will speak to the
Discuss
new mayor.
it with the new mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saul occurs on 150 Berlin Street. With regard to the 7th student, was it determined in June?
No, there was one student determined in June.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, one student, so 7 total students throughout the year.
Better late than never.
Better late than never, that's right.
Trying to keep up the date.
That's good.
Every month counts.
Are we done with that?
It was June 20th.
Yeah, you'll go on here. Come on anyways. Thanks.
And I was a senior too, so.
Yeah, I'm out, thanks. With regard to agenda item, I'm sorry. it was, and I don't know if it's proper, but I'm just more curious than anything, and I apologize for my curiosity. Board member Nelson recused himself. Did you recuse yourself from others as well? From approval of bills from previous? Okay, thank you. And with regard to the auditorium, I heard that work has started already.
Yes. Like an update.
Absolutely.
Would you like, would you want to do it, or?
She has her notes ready.
This way, somebody might think I'm doing something.
She's got the notes ready. She's ready.
I just don't want to miss the facts, so therefore I wrote it down.
Excellent,
I
thank
don't
you.
want to be part of the
Well,
information.
why isn't one,
I mean, I'm just gonna go, we looked at it tonight, okay? And Sue, you can tell me I'm way off or whatever. A lot of this has been done in-house to save the district some money. We did the stage that was done by our in-house people, sanded it down, restained it, cleaned underneath, painted all the walls, did the tile in it, removed the seats. We had a company come in and do the soundproofing. There's, if you look at the, when you on stage and you look up there, where the booth is on top, there's soundproofing up there, that little odd shapes up there. That's for soundproofing, so it doesn't bounce back and forth. That was done by a company. We're doing, I think it looks great. We're in the process of getting the tile removed, which will be by the end of July.
Should be.
Okay, by the end of July. Then the next step would be getting the new floor put down and the seats put in. And at that point, I think we're there. So,
There's
you
some
know,
minor work on the sound.
On the sound, there's a one.
Lighting.
Yeah, I think they have to look into that, and I think that we save some money by doing in-house that, at least my recommendation is not to kind of piece our sound system in the back there, to actually replace it. Only because I don't want to put a dime in now and then have to put a dollar in later on. But I think we're on schedule. I think they're doing a fantastic job. I think our maintenance department, or our maintenance custodial, whatever you want to call them, I think they've done a wonderful job. Good job. It's come along great. Looks good.
Is air conditioning going to be put in?
Air conditioning, no.
No,
That's like $400,000.
Can you sell fans?
We just put the big fans up here, you know.
What's with the body bag, by the way?
Yes.
I'm serious, what is with the body bag?
They cover the books over the summer because of cleaning and so forth.
Okay. What do you know what it looks like? Anyway, with regard to the portion of that put in by the Friends of the Roselle Park High School. So I presume there's been a budget and everything's been approved as far as the budget, everything is concerned.
Yes.
And that money has been included in
Their contribution.
their contribution.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was wondering, like, will it be, hey, we did this and this is your portion, or what they contributed is what they contributed?
And correct me, board, correct me if I'm wrong, when we decided to do this thing here, we knew we were going to get something from the Friends of Roselle Park. We didn't know exactly what it would be because we didn't know exactly how much they had. They are, so from what I understand, they're saving some of it so they want to continue. And you need upfront money to start them. I think what we're getting from them is a very good portion of what they raised. So yes, it's included in there. Just so everybody knows that anybody who bought the name tag or the nameplates that were purchased, some of us many years ago, will be installed on the seats coming in. So, because I know there was a question, Sue, that now that the Board of Ed is kind of running this thing here, are we going to lose putting the tags on here? No, we're not going to, because that's still part of the Friends of Roselle Park. So your names, if you bought one, and you can still buy one, If you'd like to, I think it's $100 a seat, 150 a seat. So, again, you're more than welcome to take your money to put your name on here on a seat.
And it'll be done by September, presumably.
If things go the way they are, yeah, but
So if anyone took
Maybe a little
pictures,
It would be probably safer to say by the end of September. With construction, you can never be 100% sure.
no.
and just a picture's been taken for documentation. I asked because some people from the Friends of the Library said that they were surprised to know that it was started already, and they just wondered if either they could take pictures or pictures could be taken. So when they begin their fundraising next time, they can have someone to go, hey, this is the work that was done to the auditorium to this point, and that would just a suggestion. Don't know if it's being done or
Friends of Roselle Park, you mean?
yeah. Just in other words, so when they go,
Photographs of the
Yeah.
various stages.
I mean, just one or two or something.
I think what's all saying is just they have evidence for their next fundraising effort.
I don't have, I'm not sure why they wouldn't approach Ms. Costa to ask her to allow them in there.
I mean, maybe they did.
The only time that they won't be allowed in there is when they're doing the floor.
Okay.
That type of thing, but other than that, I'm not sure why they wouldn't have taken before and after pictures.
They said they didn't know. It just started.
They didn't know when to start.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
And I'm not saying that as anything other than a comment. I'm not placing judgment upon my comment. That's all they said because I asked, and they said, well, we didn't know that it
Well,
started.
there
So
are plenty of pictures of before because photographs have
maybe
been
they want some of the
taken.
during, so they can go, oh, look, this is what is being
And we
changed.
could take the pictures now where you are in the during stage.
Okay.
All of the work that's been done up to this point in time, or 99% of it, has been done by our staff.
The town knows that we're doing it, and they know.
Again, it was nothing other than a comment. It wasn't a criticism. It was just a comment.
And again, work started quickly because we want to get it done by September 1st. And
But now it would be September. Maybe back to school night.
Maybe.
maybe,
That would be
Okay.
nice.
that would be nice.
Thank you very much.
So
And
if they want
perhaps,
to do that, just have them contact Ms. Costa.
so they can still contact Ms. Costa even when school's out.
She's here till.
But I'm saying she'd jet out of here
High
like on
school
Friday and just
administration
left.
works 12 months a year, and they
Okay.
can call the office.
Maybe there could be
Monday
a
through
showcase show in the fall.
We've already called that.
I know you guys did. I just
I know,
wanted to.
I'm glad you're confirming that would be.
Would you like to
another
MC?
thing.
No problem.
Have your camera ready.
Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Actually, Mr. President, I have a question based on what was raised by the public. So when, I think there's some clarity being sought right now based on the discussion earlier, trying to, Mr. Harms had, trying to find out exactly what that donation is to the district, if you will, recognizing they want to hold some money back. Once that is, we will share that, right, with the public. There is no problem sharing the
If
budget.
you think back to former agendas, you will remember that any donations do become agenda items for your approval to recognize revenue that comes in to the district or items that get donated to the district are always placed on the board.
Absolutely.
You should use,
When I'm talking about the account, I think the public asked the question was, what percentage of it will be based on, it's a donation, and at some point, are we gonna be able to, as a school district, say, this project cost X amount of dollars, it was funded by contributions from the community to a certain extent, and the remaining came out of that lease, capital lease purchase program that we had to do. And we'll be able, because we're gonna see bills coming in left and right that we're gonna be approving without that summation of the bill.
Good idea, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And is there anyone else for public participation? That's for me to say. Seeing that there's none, we're about to go into close, but before we go into close, board members, I do want to have one meeting in July, and tentatively it's scheduled for the 15th. I wanted to see who could make that date to make sure that we have, at least a quorum. July 15th, and that would be here at the library.
I won't be here.
You would not be there?
I will not be there.
Okay.
Your July 15th is good.
Is good? Okay.
Actually, I have some vacation time scheduled, but they didn't get back to me when it was approved. I guess I'm on board.
Okay, that's great.
My calendar's open, I don't know about the boss's calendar. I will have to check.
Okay.
I don't have the final say.
No, I know I'm not here to force it, I'm saying you're here.
Mr. Harms, how about what about the 8th?
The 8th, possibility, the 8th, yeah, I'm gonna be on vacation most of July, so.
That's fantastic. That's great.
Tired.
I'm jealous.
After 5 years, I should be able to take it.
Yes, you should.
The 8th, I mean, I could go to the 8th, that's all short right now, I mean, that's just like 2 weeks.
We'll be good at the 22nd.
I think you're better off with 29. If you're only looking to have one in the summer. Split it in differences.
Or with the 22nd, would that be a possibility?
I'm more than likely not to.
22nd will be okay. 22nd.
No.
Okay, so, you know what, for now, let's see,
29? 29?
29th, good?
You
Good.
know, like I said, I'm.
Stan?
Yeah.
Mr. Balvin?
The 29th is good.
Okay. All right, so 29th. So our next scheduled board meeting will be set for July 29th here at the high school library. And open will begin at 7 p.m. And now I'd like someone to make a motion to go into closed. Mr. Harms, thank you. And that the Roselle, thank you, second, Mrs. Sokol. The Roselle Park Board of Education hereby convenes to executive session for discussion of the following topics, which is personnel matters related to employment, appointment, or termination of current or prospective employees. Specifically, it's the superintendent's evaluation that we're going to go over, and also setting out board goals. And those board goals obviously will be made public once we decide on them, and we're going to go to another location for that. No action will be taken, and we will conclude at that location. So we are now in closed. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.